I believe that Terrarians often speedrun the game and never take their time on their worlds. I want to change that. Wait, that's this guy's line. But regardless, I'm going to do a challenge that forced me to take my time in the worst way possible. I'm only going to allow myself to play in this world for 3 minutes a day. Grinding, only for 3 minutes. Building, only got 3 minutes. Boss fights, only got 3 minutes. You get the idea by now. With that out of the way, let's take Thorben's challenge in the exact opposite direction and hop right into it. Day 1 started off like most challenges do. I chopped down some trees and got some wood. Explored the nearby area, finding a jungle to the right and some crimson to the left. But I still didn't really know what I was doing, and didn't really have a plan for what was to come. Day 2 consisted of me attempting to make it to the underground jungle, but the local vultures and jungle bats wouldn't allow me to get past them. Day 3, I lucked out. There was no mobs on my way into the underground jungle. I found the jungle temple, but not much else. And it gave me an interesting idea. During day 4, I built a house and started a elevator in preparation for my plan. I wanted to enter the jungle temple early by using a well-known glitch that allows me to use platforms to phase through walls. Days 5 through 7 consisted of mining out the elevator and picking up some useful loot in chests underground. Day 8 brings up a recurring problem in the challenge: technical difficulties. I forgot to start the timer, so I was unaware of how long I was in the world for. So for future reference, I went by the rule of if I accidentally went over the timer, anything game past that time will be trashed. Day 9 proceeds with me going back to the jungle and finding a life crystal. And day 10, I used some bombs I found to break some crimson hearts so I could get some early weapons. Day 11, I enact my temple plan and break-in. This helped me get ahead on my new goal of getting a set of platinum armor, which just so happens to be abundant in temple chests. Day 12, I built some NPC houses, then followed that up with some elevator mining on days 13 and 14. Day 15, I head to the Sky Island, do some gravitation potions I found in some chests, in hopes to find some useful accessories and weapons like the Star Fury or Lucky Horseshoe. Day 16, I planned to go to the other side of the world, Sky Islands, but the goblins had other plans, so I spent days 16 to 18 fighting the goblin army. Day 19, I proceeded as planned, and went to the other side of the world, getting the remaining Sky Islands in the world. And I did get that Lucky Horseshoe and Star Fury. Day 20 marked the beginning of the Platinum Armor grinding arc, in which I spent days 20 to 28 mining in both the forest and underground jungle. Whenever I made trips into the jungle, I decided to start work on another project, which was building a minecart track across the overworld, so I could quickly traverse the surface. Day 29, I began work on an arena for the Eye of Cthulhu, which I was planning on taking out in the next couple of days. Days 30 to 35 consist of my daily chores of building the minecart rail, exploration, mining, with a side of tree chopping. Day 36, an evil presence watches me, and I begin my battle late into the night. I wasn't expecting to win because the day was almost over with. Only a minute and a half was left, but I did surprisingly well, dealing about 2/3 of its health before the timer went up. Day 37, I challenged the Eye to a rematch, with a full day ahead of me, but a problem occurred. I forgot to start the timer, and it caused me to panic, making me have probably one of the most embarrassing deaths ever. Days 38 to 42, I did the daily chores again. I worked on the minecart, made some NPC housing, and basically was just trying to waste away the day so I could fight the Eye again. During this, I also finished my platinum armor, which would be my armor set for the next while. Day 43, I decided to prepare a little early and build a Brain of Cthulhu arena. Then day 44, I went back to the mines to see if I could pick up any useful accessories or heart crystals. Day 45, I had my rematch against the Eye, and I actually remembered to start the timer this time, which led to my swift and easy victory. Day 46, I decided to try to take out King Slime, which wasn't too hard to defeat. I did this because I wanted the Slimy Saddle, which is a really good mount early on that helps you descend faster, which will be crucial for getting to the underworld when I needed to fight Wall of Flesh. But sadly, I didn't get it on this attempt.
Day 47, I decided to head back to the mines to get some cobwebs, to follow up with day 48, where I got a bed and set my spawn point to the Crimson to save me some time when I decided to fight Brain of Cthulhu. Day 49, I climbed down the Crimson corridors and spawned the Brain. The battle was long and hard. I fought for about a minute and a half and got it down to 700 HP, but I eventually failed because my yo-yo didn't have enough knockback and I was too indecisive switching between my weapons.
No! Okay, you know what? This is okay.
Day 50, I decided to fight King Slime again, but I forgot to start the timer, so I was a little panicked, but I knew I killed him last time within time, so I knew I would be fine. But sadly, the slimy saddle didn't drop again, so that's rough. Day 51 to 53, I decided to finish up my elevator, because now that I've gotten some tissue samples from Brain of Cthulhu, I now have access to Hellstone, which is a huge upgrade that will carry me throughout the rest of free hard mode. Days 54 through 57 were all me gathering Hellstone and obsidian skin potions so I can just dive straight into the lava. And I mined, I think, around 300 Hellstone, and got myself a full set, as well as the Volcano Sword. Days 59 to 60 were spent farming vertebrae and vicious mushrooms so I can get a spotter for the Brain of Cthulhu, because there were no longer any Crimson Hearts in the world. Day 61, I took on the Brain of Cthulhu again, and had this embarrassing death.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that was kind of dumb. That was kind of dumb.
Day 62 to 64 was just spent farming more vertebrae. Day 65, I pushed forward and finally beat Brain of Cthulhu. And sadly, it was close. With Brain of Cthulhu out of the way, days 66 to 69, nice, were all spent building a Skeletron arena, as that was my next boss on the list. Day 70, I challenged Skeletron to a battle, and I die fairly fast, because I don't have any movement, nor do I have any combined accessories, because I still haven't found the Goblin Tinkerer. So, for day 71 and 72, I decided to hunt for the Goblin Tinkerer, and have little to no success. Then with that, I see a meteor spawns in the world. So, I decide to fix my range and pick up some meteor armor and a space gun on days 73 to 76. Then for days 77 to 85, I've written in my notes, I hate the Goblin Tinkerer. Yeah, that sums up these days. Basically, I spent all of these days trying to find the Goblin Tinkerer, and only found him on day 85. I spent like a week. That's a week! Too long! But I finally found him. So, I can combine a few accessories, giving me just enough movement to help me take out Skeletron. Day 86, I decided to make some more housing so I could actually get the Goblin Tinkerer to come back up to spawn. Days 87 to 89, I went on a hunt for an egg because I hadn't gotten one yet, because I wanted to craft some lightning boots to get more movement. On day 90, I decided to kill the guide. Why? For no apparent reason. Day 91, I cleaned up the Skeletron arena so I could have more space to move around, as well as expanded it a bit so I had a little bit more space to work with. Day 92, I died to Skeletron again, due to some misplays and mistakes, which led to days 93 to 96 being days of rest and sleep. Now, for this challenge, I had one goal in mind, which was to kill Skeletron before day 100, which I knew wasn't going to be easy, but seeing as it was day 97 and I was struggling, I realized this would really be my last chance to take down Skeletron before day 100, just because of how long it takes to sleep through the days. So, I employed some risky strategies to help me take him down, which means now I get to cue the crazy battle montage. Here we go.
Yeah. We're still cutting it close, but I think we've beaten Skeletron. Oh, I'm selling the price. Selling the price. I'm absolutely selling the price. Yes! And 20 seconds to spare. What did we get? Nothing useful.
And with that, Skeletron's defeated, which now unlocks a way into the dungeon, which leads straight into days 98 and 99, where I go into the dungeon to look for a shadow key. And with that, we finally reach day 100, which marks the first checkpoint of this challenge. We ended up just spending the day back in the dungeon, and we actually did find that shadow key, which means the next 100 days should be pretty quick to beat the wall of flesh. And that's pretty much it. Well, that's the end of our first 100 days. We still have several more days to go to complete the challenge overall, but that's the first little bit. If you guys enjoyed, consider subscribing and liking. I know, cliche, but anyways, yeah, if you enjoyed watching, hey, it helps. Anyways, that is all for today. And once again, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.